Hi, my name's Jim Zartman, and I am a certified Enneagram coach and trainer with The Art of Growth, which is a podcast. We don't normally do videos, but I had to do a video for this. I saw Encanto, the new Disney film, last night, and I'm kind of freaking out because Encanto is the Enneagram. So I'm going to go through something really quick, and I'm going to talk fast, and then I promise in the back half I'm going to slow down and explain things more. And I'm going to botch the pronunciations of the names because I don't speak Spanish. But I'm watching this movie last night, and the first thing I notice is there's this central character who is surrounded by these other people who have gifts, and she doesn't know what hers is. So she's this person, but there are 8 other people around her who have special gifts, who are part of her family. There are people who have married in and who are other peripheral characters, but 8 people around her have special gifts, and she doesn't know what hers is. So as she's going through, she's introducing people, and she has a sister who's incredibly strong, who is very powerful, but we later find out can't show weakness or vulnerability because she has to carry the weight of the world on her back. She has another sister who has to be perfect and has to get everything just right because that's the expectation on her. She has a mom who takes care of people incredibly well and who can heal people with a meal. She has another uncle who we don't talk about because he saw some things in the future that could go wrong, and so they don't want to talk about him, and he's pulled away from the family because of they think he just says negative things. There's one who has strong emotions, and there's the weather over her head shows the emotions that she's having. And then there's some younger characters, one who hears everything but kind of stays out of view. She hears and pays attention, observes everything. There's her younger brother who can shapeshift into anything, but he's still trying to figure out who he is. And then there's the youngest one who discovers his gift near the beginning of the movie. And not that it's developed a lot, but he gets to go into his room, and it's incredibly fun and positive, and he can talk to animals, and he's the one who doesn't judge the main character for not having a gift. And his room is slides and animals and tree houses and fun. And I thought, Encanto is the Enneagram. I've seen other people talk about different movies where they think they see Enneagram characters within it. And it's true, you're going to see it everywhere because these are types that exist everywhere. But this is the most blatant display I have ever seen of the Enneagram in film. So I had to come in and talk about it. All right, now I'm going to slow it down and break it down. So the Enneagram is a personality system that includes 9 main types. There are other aspects like the instincts or the stances that we're not going to get into here. But just think about it as 9 main personality types that are organized around 3 centers of intelligence. So you have the body center, I am what I do. You have the heart center, the feeling center, I am what I feel. And you have the head center, I am what I think. And these are gifts and strengths, and there are 3 types within each of those. So the body types are the 8, the 9, and the 1. The heart types are the 2, the 3, the 4. And the head types are the 5, the 6, and the 7. Now, stay with me here. Abuela, Alma, the grandma, the matriarch of the family. She has triplets, okay? She has triplets. She has Julieta, the type 2. And the type 2 is the one who takes care of other people, who helps others. They call him the nurturer. She's very warm and loving, and this one can heal people with a meal. She's a 2 sees a need and they want to meet it. And this one meets it by feeding them, caring for their, actually, I loved it, feeds them, but their meal also heals them if they are ill or injured in any way. That's Abuela's one of her kids. Then there's Pepa. Pepa? I don't know, I'm probably not saying that right. She's the type 4. She has strong emotions and they appear like weather over her head. And if you notice, most of the time it's not a positive thing. She does deal with some of those more negative emotions, but she is able to get it to clear and beautiful at certain times. And she can influence the weather. She can change the temperature, I think it's in the first song. Fascinating. Deep emotion, everything felt, but they don't do a ton with that character. So I'm going to quickly do the ones that have less attention to them and then a little more on the characters that get the most attention. So Julieta, Pepa, okay, and Bruno. Bruno is a type 6 who they're imagining worst case scenario. They can see possible futures, but often stop at the negative and don't go as far into the future. Don't go as far as what also could be good. And he ends up being pulled away from the family. There's definitely a lot more we could say about Bruno. But those are Abuela Alma's 3 kids, okay? Bruno doesn't have kids. I'll go to Pepa's kids. So she has 3. She has Dolores, type 5, the observer, who hears everything, pays attention, but kind of stays behind the scenes, kind of stays out of sight, is aware of everything, pays very close attention. She's a resource of knowledge. She knows what's going on, but she doesn't always say it. She kind of keeps things back a little bit. All right? So then you have Camilo, who's her younger brother. He can shapeshift, right? He can turn into anything. This is the type 3. He doesn't quite have a fully formed identity. He's still trying to figure out who he is. There's a couple lines about that. But he has this ability to adapt and shapeshift and show up in different situations as different people. And there's a scene where there's people greeting him and he's literally turning into them and giving them the kind of greeting that they would give. So he's shifting in order to do that. But they don't do a ton with his character either. Nor Antonio's, because he's very young. And like he says, he gets the playground. He gets the slides in his room. It's just beautiful. And it's in the forest. It's outdoors. All these animals. He can talk to animals. He can understand what animals are saying. So he can see from all these different kind of ideas and perspectives. He can bring things together. And so he's like bringing together people and animals. That's going to be his gift that he brings together, because he can take disparate things and bring them together. And he's trying to do it he's having fun. He's having a good old time. He's like riding on the leopard or tiger, or I don't know. I don't remember what it was. So they don't do as much with those characters. What I really want to focus on is Julieta's 3 kids. So Maribel, the main character, but I'm going to come back to her, has 2 sisters. Luisa, who is the type 8. She's very strong. And the interesting thing is all 3 of them get some kind of an I want song, right? So Luisa gets a song. She has to be strong. She has to be tough. And she has to carry the world, because I'm not sure I'm worthy if I can't carry the weight of the world on my shoulders. I can bend, but I cannot break. It's this pressure, this constant pressure on me, and I have to be strong. I can't be vulnerable. She is the 8. Listen to her song, and it is literally textbook type 8 in the Enneagram. And then you have Isabella. Now, she feels the need to be perfect. Now, perfect takes on different forms and in different cultural settings, what that actually is going to look like. But in this setting, it's like I have to pose perfectly, I have to stand perfectly, I have to create order out of chaos and bring about these beautiful flowers. I can make miles of them. But when she gets her song, she makes this cactus. And she's like, it's not perfect, it's not symmetrical, but it's beautiful. She goes from it needing to be perfect to needing to it can be beautiful even if it's not perfect. And she can create all kinds of different things. So she's wanting to break out of the perfection, just like Luisa is wanting to break out of the need to be strong, having that forced upon her where she has to be strong all the time. And then we get to Mirabelle. Right at the top of the Enneagram is the type 9. And the type 9 is the central character in this story. Now, her first song, when she starts singing, she's like, all these people have gifts, but I stand on the sidelines and I let them shine. I don't really know what my gift is. But she's wanting to break out of that. You know, she's frustrated by that at this point. Just like her other two sisters, all three of them are wanting to break out of their type, as we call it. And they get to sing about how they want to break out of it. Because she wants to know her gift. She wants to know that she has something to offer and bring. And being right there at the center, she ends up being the one who brings the entire family together. It's funny, in the very first song, they're asking about the family and she talks about everyone else. And then when they ask her about her, she deflects again and starts talking about everyone else. She doesn't know her own gift. She's like, I can't do this, I can't do that. I'm just not this. But the ability of the 9 is, we often say they can see from every perspective except their own. So she's the one who can end up seeing the whole thing. She's the one who brings Bruna back in. She's the one who kind of gets the breakthrough with Abuela so that they can, reconnect, heal the family. And because she does that, the entire town then comes around and rebuilds the house and returns the magic to it. And it's not individual doors of individual people. She's brought them all together and their portrait is all together on the new door. And the song at the end, it's not about your gift. It's just you, that you are the gift. It's not about what you can do. She says the stars don't shine, they burn. And that's the thing. Everyone who's frustrated at this point, they're just they're burning up. They're having to use their gift, but it's like, I am only as good as my gift. And the healing that comes is that you are not just your gift. You are not the limits of your gift, and you are not just a gift. You're not just what you can do for other people. And that's not your whole value. And it's not just that one side of you that we value, but it's the whole thing. It's the whole thing. And that was so beautiful. It's not just the gift, it's you. You are the gift. You are the gift. That's so much of what my work is about, is that you are the gift. And that there is nothing wrong with you and you have work to do. There's nothing wrong with these people. There's no bad guy in this movie, but we have to kind of come through this process to accept the gift, because all their gifts return at the end, but they can use them from a place of joy, not from a place of identity, where I have to do these things or be this thing in order to fit in. They're going to continue to discover. The younger ones will continue to discover themselves. And I even love it at the end, the 5, who's held so much back, actually step up and speaks for herself about the man that she loves. Beautiful movie. I've just been thinking about it and obsessing about it ever since I saw it last night. So well done to the team who did that, and of course Lin-Manuel Manuel Miranda and the soundtrack. Oh. But when you listen to the 3 songs of the 3 sisters, this I want sense, they really focus on the body triad there with those sisters and what they want, even though the entire Enneagram is present. And it is just wonderful. So hopefully that was helpful. I wanted this to be entertaining, but also to help understand a little bit more about the Enneagram, but also to see this film for how they were organizing it. That's it. Have a good one. Grace and growth. And check out the Art of Growth podcast, where we use the Enneagram and the best tools we can find to help you transform. All right. See ya.